For a century, it stood as an unassailable titan of aerospace, a shining beacon of American engineering prowess, synonymous with innovation and safety. Its name alone evoked images of grand achievements, pushing the boundaries of flight. Yet, in a shocking reversal of fortune, this global colossus found itself grounded, its reputation shattered, not by a competitor's superior technology, but by lines of code, driven by a relentless pursuit of short-term financial gains. This is the story of Boeing, and how a deep-seated cultural shift from engineering excellence to financial engineering brought an industry legend to its knees. Consider a metallic airplane chess piece, soaring gracefully, representing decades of unparalleled engineering. Then imagine it suddenly lurching, its trajectory broken, its once assured flight now terrifyingly erratic. This visual metaphor captures the dramatic downfall of Boeing, a company whose very name once signified safety and aerospace innovation. How did a corporation built on such solid foundations lose its way so catastrophically? The answer lies not in a sudden market shift, but in a series of strategic gambits made in the boardroom, where the relentless pursuit of profit began to outweigh its core engineering integrity. This episode will deconstruct the fatal decisions that grounded a legend. For much of the 20th century, Boeing was not just a company, it was a national marvel, an emblem of industrial might and technological leadership. Its planes, from the iconic 747 Queen of the Skies to its advanced military aircraft, set global standards. This dominance wasn't accidental. It was forged in a culture where engineers held sway, where safety and design integrity were paramount, and every rivet and circuit board was meticulously scrutinized. Boeing operated in a strategic duopoly with European rival Airbus, a rivalry that for decades pushed both companies to new heights of innovation. Boeing's initial strategic advantages were deeply rooted in unparalleled engineering standards and a deeply ingrained culture of safety. The numbers reflected this: market share dominance, relentless innovation, and an unblemished record that instilled profound trust in its products. It was a company that built for the long haul, prioritizing robust design over fleeting financial metrics. The turning point arrived in 1997, with Boeing's merger with McDonnell Douglas. This wasn't merely an acquisition, it was a cultural collision. McDonnell Douglas, born from a more defense-oriented, financially driven philosophy, brought with it a different ethos, one that prioritized shareholder value and cost efficiency over the engineering-first approach that had defined Boeing. This began a fatal cultural shift from engineering to financial engineering. The boardroom's focus shifted from designing the best aircraft to maximizing returns. Cost-cutting became paramount, and the pursuit of innovation was increasingly viewed through a financial lens. This new mindset became tragically apparent with the development of the 737 MAX. Instead of designing a completely new, more expensive aircraft, Boeing opted to update its decades-old 737 model to compete with Airbus's fuel-efficient A320neo. This decision saved billions but required a critical, and ultimately lethal, modification. The MAX's larger engines altered its aerodynamic profile, creating a tendency for the nose to pitch up. Boeing's solution was the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS, a flight control software designed to automatically push the nose down. Here's where the art of obfuscation truly began. Implementing MCAS properly, with robust redundancy and extensive pilot training, would have been costly and time-consuming. Boeing made a tactical decision to bury the MCAS system deep within the aircraft's software, intentionally classifying it as a minor update to avoid costly pilot retraining requirements. Isometric data streams visually represented cost-cutting measures and aggressive stock buybacks flowing upwards, diverting resources away from engineering. Simultaneously, hidden software patches for MCAS were channeled through complex off-book routes, deliberately designed to avoid triggering mandatory and expensive pilot training. Critical information about MCAS was intentionally withheld from regulators, and most crucially, from the very pilots who would fly these planes. It was a strategic gamble, a calculated risk to save money, placing short-term financial gains above the inherent safety responsibilities of building aircraft. The tragic consequences of these decisions became fatally apparent, with two catastrophic crashes. In October 2018, Lion Air Flight 610 plunged into the Java Sea, killing all 189 people on board. Just 5 months later, in March 2019, Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 met the same fate, killing 157 passengers and crew. Both crashes involved the 737 MAX, and both were linked to the malfunctioning MCAS system. Initially, Boeing's response was characterized by strategic arrogance. They pointed fingers at pilot error and maintained the 737 MAX was safe. This defensive posturing was a desperate attempt to protect their financial investment and reputation. However, the relentless investigations that followed, coupled with the courageous testimony of internal whistleblowers, began to chip away at Boeing's carefully constructed narrative. The systemic rot was exposed, the intense pressure on engineers, the overlooked safety warnings, and the deliberate obfuscation of critical information from regulators and pilots. The world watched in horror as the tactical decisions made in the boardroom came to light, revealing a shocking disregard for human life in the pursuit of profit. The revelations led to an unprecedented reckoning. In March 2019, the entire global fleet of 737 MAX aircraft was grounded, an unparalleled move that plunged Boeing into its deepest crisis. The financial hemorrhage was massive, running into tens of billions of dollars in lost orders, compensation to airlines, and legal fees. The company's stock plummeted, its reputation was in tatters, and its production lines stalled. The ultimate cost included the ouster of its CEO, Dennis Muhlenberg, and a criminal charge of conspiracy to defraud the United States, for which Boeing paid a staggering $2.5 billion settlement. The visual of the metallic airplane piece plummeting and shattering captures the devastating impact of this crisis, a direct consequence of prioritizing financial metrics over engineering excellence. The Boeing 737 MAX saga stands as a chilling testament to the dangers of corporate hubris. It underscores a fundamental truth. When a company sacrifices its core engineering integrity, its legacy, and its commitment to safety for the sake of short-term financial data and aggressive cost-cutting, the ultimate cost is catastrophic, not just in financial losses but in human lives, public trust, and a once-proud reputation. The profit paradox exposed here is a stark reminder that true strategic success is built on unwavering principles, not on hidden software patches and financial wizardry. Join us next time on the Boardroom Gambit, as we deconstruct another high-stakes play in the world of corporate strategy. If this analysis of Boeing's profit paradox resonated with you, be sure to like this video, share it with your colleagues and friends, and subscribe to the Boardroom Gambit for more strategic insights into the plays that shape our world.